What's up, guys, and welcome to the next installment of our rookie mini-series. Today we are talking about Jalen Reagor. He was the first-round pick of the Philadelphia Eagles at number 21. You can see the rest of his combine stats over to the side here. He's from Texas Christian, TCU. He's 5'11", 195 pounds, good speedster wide receiver. He played 3 years in college, freshman year, 33 receptions, 576 yards for 8 touchdowns. Sophomore year, 72 receptions, 1,061 yards, 9 touchdowns, and then added another 2 touchdowns on the ground on 13 carries. And then his junior year, a little bit of a dip, 43 receptions, 611 yards, and 5 touchdowns. So a few underwhelming numbers, but still it was able to get him a first-round grade, at least by the Philadelphia Eagles. They picked him at 21, and Jordan, take it away.
Yeah, and I would definitely agree that his college numbers weren't eye-popping. They didn't have a very high-volume passing offense. And, I mean, overall, this pick didn't surprise anybody. I think if there are things that are certain in life, it's life, death, taxes, and the Eagles taking a wide receiver this season. I mean, everybody had them taking a wide receiver. I'm still surprised they passed on Justin Jefferson. And I think that would have made for the better pick for him. But Jalen Reagor is going to stretch the field for him. I think realistically he projects more as a downfield threat, similar to Deshaun Jackson. I think that's kind of his ceiling that I see for him. Short term, I think he's still going to get a ton of snaps. They do still have Alshon Jeffrey and Deshaun Jackson there. A lot of people are talking as though the Eagles have absolutely no weapons. They do have some there. They're just extremely injury prone. I mean, not to mention Goddard's still there along with Ertz at the tight end position. So they do have some weapons, but based on the draft capital they spent on Reagor, I expect him to get a ton of snaps from day one. I'm not as optimistic as other people are because, like I said, Alshon Jeffrey and Deshaun Jackson, unless they get cut before the season, they're still going to have some sort of role if they're healthy. But long term, I like his projections even more so. Deshaun Jackson's older now. Alshon Jeffrey's older and injury prone. So long term, I think year 2, he's going to be their wide receiver number 1. Wouldn't be surprised if they targeted another wide receiver next season in another deep class. So I think it's a pick that makes a lot of sense. I see Reagor going in the back end of rookie mock drafts in the first round, and I think that's a spot where he has a lot of upside.
Yeah, the pick makes sense, and it's definitely another one of those we didn't see it coming, or we knew a wide receiver was coming, but we were thinking it was going to be Justin Jefferson. I remember us all sitting here talking about it, and kind of surprised at the pick, but nonetheless, we knew that they were going to be taking a wide receiver, and sure enough that they did. He does fit in. I mean, Alshon Jeffrey is kind of their bigger possession guy, and then Deshaun Jackson is their speedster guy, but he is getting a little bit older. And then one thing that you forgot to mention or just didn't mention was they went out and traded for Marquise Goodwin too, who's another wide receiver that's of that same type. But where they drafted him, first round, 21st overall, he's definitely going to see the field. He's going to see the field as early as this year. Carson Wentz, he can sling it as long as he's on the field. He is one of the better quarterbacks in the league. So Reagor is going to be a good player as long as he have the quarterback that can get him the ball, and Wentz is that guy. So I do like the pick. I would have been more comfortable if I were an Eagles fan if they were to take Justin Jefferson, but I mean that let's bygones be bygones. They didn't, so Jalen Reagor is their guy. I agree with you that they could be taking another wide receiver next year, or as early as next year, or see what kind of roster cuts there are. And yeah, I mean I'm hitting them up in the end of the first round, early second if I have that the 12th pick turn, if I'm in a snake draft, or if it's a linear draft and I got the 12th pick, I might be thinking about Jalen Reagor there. So I don't know if I would take him any earlier, especially with the other wide receivers that we got in this draft. But I'm looking at CeeDee Lamb and Jerry Jeudy and Justin Jefferson a little earlier than him. But if all 3 of those are gone and all those running backs are gone, I'd be more than happy taking Jalen Reagor towards the end of the first round if I need a wide receiver.